Welcome back, Rare Coin Insider. Have you ever looked at a small copper coin and wondered if it could secretly be worth a fortune? Imagine holding something in your hand that most people ignore, something that jingles around in pockets and drawers, and realizing that it might be worth more than $31 million. Today we're diving into the incredible story of the 2008 1-cent coin, a coin so common yet surrounded by mystery, rare varieties, collector obsession, and the extraordinary rise in its market value that has stunned the numismatic world. This story is not just about a tiny coin, it's about history, chance, design, human curiosity, and the power of rarity. When the United States Mint released the 2008 1-cent coin, few people paid much attention. It looked like every other Lincoln cent they had been minting for years, copper-plated zinc, showing the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln on one side and the Lincoln Memorial on the other. Most Americans used it, tossed it into change jars, or simply ignored it. Yet hidden among the billions of coins struck that year, a few extraordinary examples emerged that would rewrite the coin story forever. These coins, because of minting errors, condition, or unique characteristics, turned what was once a simple penny into one of the most valuable coins in modern history. To understand why this coin became so famous, we must step back and look at what a 1-cent coin really represents. Since 1909, the Lincoln cent has been an icon of American currency. The front, known as the obverse, bears the portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side, until 2008, displayed the image of the Lincoln Memorial, a design by Frank Gasparo introduced in 1959. The coin is small, just 19.05 millimeters in diameter and weighing about 2.5 grams, but its symbolism runs deep. It commemorates a president who fought to preserve the Union and abolish slavery, and it stands as one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. By 2008, the penny had been produced in massive numbers, billions per year, mostly made of copper-plated zinc since 1982, when the mint switched from solid copper because of rising metal costs. Each 2008 cent was 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, giving it that familiar reddish shine when new. But even with such massive production, the smallest deviations in minting could create a coin that would become the holy grail for collectors. In that year, several varieties and mint errors occurred that went almost unnoticed until sharp-eyed hobbyists discovered them. Some of the most notable varieties include double-die errors, off-center strikes, and coins struck on foreign planchets. A double-die coin occurs when the die used to imprint the coin shifts slightly between strikes, causing letters or details to appear doubled. These are extremely sought after by collectors because they are obvious proof of human and mechanical imperfection in a world that demands precision. A 2008 Lincoln cent with a significant double-die obverse can sell for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on its condition. But the coin that truly shook the market was a mysterious 2008 cent rumored to have been struck on a different metal composition, one that appeared to be a leftover experimental blank from an earlier minting process. Such coins are sometimes called transitional errors, meaning they were struck using materials or dies intended for a previous or upcoming year. Transitional errors are incredibly rare because they exist only when the mint changes a coin's composition or design, and an old planchet accidentally slips into production. Now, here's where the legend begins. Among collectors, rumors spread that a 2008 1-cent coin had been authenticated as a unique mint error worth an unbelievable $31 million. Many doubted it at first, assuming it was just internet hype, but as stories of private auctions and secretive transactions circulated, more people began to pay attention. The coin reportedly exhibited unusual metal composition, microscopic design anomalies, and a perfect uncirculated condition that set it apart from billions of others. Even experts could hardly believe that a modern coin, worth only 1 cent in face value, could command such astronomical prices. Yet the world of rare coins has always defied expectations. To grasp how this could happen, we have to understand the dynamics of the numismatic market. In the world of coin collecting, rarity, demand, condition, and historical significance are the four pillars of value. A coin might be rare, but if no one wants it, it won't sell for much. Conversely, even a relatively common coin can skyrocket in value if collectors suddenly develop an intense interest in it. The 2008 cent became that coin, the perfect storm of mystery, scarcity, and hype. Over the years, stories emerged about where this coin came from. Some believed it originated from the Philadelphia Mint, while others claimed it was struck in Denver. There were theories that it was part of a special test run for the following year's new design, the 2009 Bicentennial Lincoln Series, which featured different reverses to celebrate Lincoln's life. Others thought it might have been a coin struck on a foreign blank intended for another country's mint order. Whatever the case, the coin's composition did not match standard specifications. It weighed slightly more, and its sound when dropped was subtly different, clues that numismatists often use to identify non-standard metal mixtures. The 2008 cent's weight was a key indicator. Normal zinc pennies weigh 2.5 grams, but this rare specimen reportedly weighed closer to 3.11 grams, reminiscent of the pre-1982 copper cents. That difference suggested that it could have been struck on an old copper blank mistakenly fed into the presses, a scenario nearly impossible given modern minting automation, but not entirely inconceivable. Machines malfunction, humans make errors, and sometimes those errors slip into circulation. In 1943, for instance, a few copper pennies were struck during the war when the mint was supposed to be using steel planchets. Those 1943 copper cents are now among the most valuable U.S. coins, fetching millions at auction. So when collectors realized a similar situation might have occurred in 2008, the excitement was electric. Let's talk about design for a moment, because the 2008 Lincoln cent represents the end of an era. It was the final full year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design before the mint transitioned to the 2009 Bicentennial Series. That means every 2008 penny carries a quiet historical significance. It's the last of a 50-year design lineage that began in 1959. The Lincoln Memorial on the back isn't just a building. It's a national symbol of unity, freedom, and resilience. Inside the design, if you look closely under magnification, you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting between the pillars, an astonishing detail captured on such a small surface. Collectors appreciate these nuances. They see coins not just as metal, but as miniature works of art. Every scratch, die crack, or variation tells a story. The letter font, the placement of the mint mark, a small D for Denver or P for Philadelphia, the subtle difference in color between copper shades, all these details matter. And when a coin like the 2008 cent exhibits something out of the ordinary, the world notices. Now, how does a coin go from being pocket change to being valued at $31 million? It starts with discovery. Someone somewhere finds the coin, often by accident. Maybe they're sorting through old jars of change or checking rolls from a bank. They notice something different. The weight feels heavier, the color seems richer, or the strike appears sharper. They take it to a local coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. Once experts confirm that it's not a fake and that it has genuine minting anomalies, the coin's status changes instantly from ordinary to legendary. Grading plays a crucial role here. A coin's condition is assessed on a 70-point scale, with MS 70, mint state 70, being a flawless specimen, no scratches, no marks, perfect luster. A 2008 cent graded MS 70 with an error would be virtually priceless. Collectors and investors are willing to pay astronomical amounts for coins that represent perfection and rarity combined. The $31 million valuation reportedly came from a private sale, which means it wasn't even a public auction. In the coin world, private sales among elite collectors can reach figures the general public finds unimaginable. But even if you don't have that specific coin, ordinary 2008 cents can still be worth something. Coins with visible doubling on "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," or with strong mint luster and no circulation marks, can sell for $50 to $500. Those struck off center or with partial design misalignments might go for thousands. And coins graded as proof strikes, those made specifically for collectors with mirror-like finishes, also hold value. The fascinating part of the 2008 cent story is how it highlights the human desire to find treasure in the everyday. Every time someone picks up a penny from the sidewalk, they secretly hope it might be that penny, the rare one, the mistake, the miracle. It's not just greed. It's curiosity, the same instinct that drives archaeologists, treasure hunters, and historians. A single coin can connect us to a specific moment in time, a human decision made inside a massive mint facility, and a story that might outlive us all. Throughout 2008, the U.S. Mint operated several facilities producing these cents: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, for proof coins. Each used high-speed presses capable of striking hundreds of coins per minute. Despite modern precision, variations still occurred. Dies wore out, planchets jammed, temperatures fluctuated, and quality checks missed minor inconsistencies. It's these small imperfections that birth legends. What's fascinating is how collectors document and trade these coins online. Marketplaces like eBay and specialized auction houses like Heritage Auctions regularly list rare cents. Some sell for a few dollars, others for thousands. The $31 million case remains exceptional, but it ignited renewed interest in checking old change. After news spread, coin roll hunters began flooding banks to buy boxes of pennies, hoping lightning might strike twice. Economically, the penny has long been criticized for costing more to make than its face value. In 2008, it cost the mint about 1.7 cents to produce each 1-cent coin. Yet the sentimental and historical value of the penny keeps it alive. Politicians have proposed eliminating it, but public resistance is strong. People feel attached to the smallest denomination. It represents thriftiness, humility, and luck. Find a penny, pick it up, and all day you'll have good luck. The saying might just ring true for the person who found that multi-million-dollar specimen. The symbol on the coin, the Union Shield, that replaced the Lincoln Memorial in 2010, was not yet present on the 2008 issue, which makes that year the final bridge between two eras. For collectors, transitional years always carry heightened interest. They mark the end of something familiar and the dawn of something new. The 2008 cent, therefore, holds both nostalgic and numismatic power. Many experts believe that as more people learn about the story, the coin's market value will continue to climb. Even replicas and commemorative versions have sold briskly, a testament to how legends in coin collecting create ripples across the hobby. It's a combination of rarity, intrigue, and the dream that anyone could possess such a treasure. The science behind identifying such coins is fascinating too. Metallurgical analysis can reveal exact compositions, using X-ray fluorescence to determine the metal content without damaging the coin. Weight, diameter, thickness, and edge examination help confirm authenticity. Some counterfeiters tried to alter regular coins to mimic rarities, but advanced testing quickly exposes fakes. That's why certification from reputable grading services is essential for high-value coins. Even after all this, what truly makes the 2008 cent story magical is its humanity. Somewhere, someone pulled that coin from a handful of change and felt a spark of curiosity. They might not have known immediately what they had, but they looked closer. That small act of attention changed their life and the way the world viewed modern coinage. The 2008 cent reminds us that miracles often hide in plain sight. In an age of digital payments, virtual currencies, and contactless transactions, a single copper coin managed to capture global imagination. It's a bridge between the tangible and the symbolic, a reminder that value is not always about numbers printed on a bill or a digital balance in an app, but about story, rarity, and meaning. Even now, collectors continue searching. They check pocket change, inspect rolls under magnifying glasses, weigh coins on digital scales, and compare tiny details like the distance between Lincoln's nose and the rim or the alignment of the letters. Every collector dreams of finding the next multimillion-dollar coin, but few realize that the real reward lies in the journey, in learning about minting history, and in developing the patience to notice the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. When we think about coins, we often forget the sheer complexity that goes into producing them. The 2008 1-cent coin may look simple, but its journey from raw metal to the palm of your hand involves layers of precision engineering, chemistry, and design tradition. It begins with a blank disc called a planchet. In 2008, these planchets were mostly zinc-coated with a thin layer of copper, giving the coin its reddish appearance. The zinc core made the coin lighter and cheaper to produce, yet it also introduced potential problems. Any irregularity in the copper coating or in the bonding process could lead to variations in color, weight, or texture. These subtle differences sometimes became the very features collectors sought after. Inside the United States Mint, the presses that strike pennies run at blinding speeds. Each die, engraved with Lincoln's image on one side and the Lincoln Memorial on the other, must withstand immense pressure, tons per strike. Over time, the dies wear down or shift slightly, and that's where mint errors creep in. In 2008, as billions of coins rolled off the production lines in Philadelphia and Denver, some dies may have been slightly misaligned, leading to double-struck details, ghosted letters, or soft edges. To a casual observer, these flaws are unnoticeable, but to a trained eye, they're signs of rarity. There's a fascinating human side to this too. Mint workers are ordinary people doing extraordinary tasks, ensuring that millions of coins look identical. But even with the best machines and human oversight, absolute perfection is impossible. Somewhere, perhaps during a night shift, a worn die produced a slightly different impression, or a blank intended for another metal slipped through. That's how legends begin, not through deliberate design, but through the unpredictable intersection of machinery and human error. For decades, collectors have chased mint errors like detectives following clues. They measure, weigh, compare, and document every irregularity. A double die obverse might show Lincoln's eye appearing twice, giving his portrait a ghostly expression. A broad strike coin might appear slightly larger, its edges spread wider than normal. An off-center strike might leave part of the design missing entirely, revealing a crescent of unmarked metal. Each of these errors is unique. No two are ever the same. So when one surfaces, it can command staggering prices. By 2008, coin collecting had entered the digital age. Online forums, YouTube channels, and auction sites allowed enthusiasts to share discoveries instantly. The rumor of a 2008 cent worth millions spread like wildfire. Videos claiming, "Check your pennies, this one could make you rich," began racking up millions of views. People who had never cared about coins before suddenly became amateur treasure hunters, combing through jars and cash registers. Banks reported customers withdrawing rolls of pennies by the box, hoping to find a rare one. It was a modern-day gold rush, but with copper instead of gold. What gives the story its drama is the mixture of truth and legend. There truly are valuable 2008 cents error coins authenticated by major grading services, but the idea of one selling for $31 million elevates it into myth. Whether or not a transaction of that magnitude actually occurred almost doesn't matter anymore. The legend itself fuels the excitement. Every collector wants to believe that somewhere out there, hidden in ordinary change, lies a fortune waiting to be discovered. Imagine the thrill of that discovery. Picture someone sitting at a kitchen table late at night, sorting through coins. The light catches one penny differently. It feels heavier. They place it on a small digital scale and see the number 3.11 grams. Their heart races. Could it really be copper? Could it be one of the few transitional errors accidentally minted before the composition change was fully phased out? They grab a magnet, nothing. It doesn't stick, confirming it's not steel. They notice the crisp detail, the flawless surfaces, the sharp edges. They send it off for grading, and weeks later, the result comes back, an unprecedented rarity, a coin struck on an experimental blank, unique among billions. Overnight, that person's life changes. This is the magic that drives numismatics, the study and collecting of coins. It's not merely about metal, it's about discovery, history, and the tangible link between the past and the present. Every coin carries the fingerprints of its time. The 2008 cent reflects an America on the brink of economic crisis, a nation shifting technologically and culturally, yet still minting billions of tiny symbols of value. Holding one is like holding a frozen moment in time, stamped forever with the face of Lincoln, the man who unified the country during its darkest days. The artistry behind that face is often overlooked. Victor David Brenner, who designed the original Lincoln portrait in 1909, was an immigrant sculptor inspired by Lincoln's humanity. His initials, VDB, caused controversy when first added to the coin's base, leading the mint to remove them, only to restore them decades later. By 2008, the design had endured nearly a century, surviving changes in metal, minting technology, and national events. It's the longest-running portrait on any U.S. coin. Each time a new die is made, engravers carefully replicate Brenner's original lines using digital technology, preserving the same serene, thoughtful expression Lincoln wore in his photographs. Flip the coin over, and you'll find Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Gasparo's design was more than decorative. It encapsulated the entire spirit of the nation. If you look closely at the miniature memorial, you can see a tiny representation of the seated Lincoln statue visible between the pillars. It's one of the smallest portraits ever included on a coin, a symbol within a symbol, a tribute within a tribute. That level of detail remains astonishing when you realize how small the surface area is and how billions of identical coins were struck with that precision. The composition of the 2008 cent, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, gives it a distinctive tone. Freshly minted, the coin shines bright red, but over time, it dulls to a darker hue. Collectors categorize this as red, red-brown, or brown, depending on how much of the original copper sheen remains. A red example from 2008 in pristine condition can fetch several times its face value simply for its aesthetic appeal. But when paired with an error or anomaly, its worth multiplies exponentially. The idea that a single 2008 cent could be valued at $31 million also ties into human psychology. Value is not just about materials, it's about perception. A 1-cent coin costs less than a grain of rice to make in terms of metal content, yet stories, rarity, and narrative can inflate its worth beyond imagination. It's the same principle that drives the art market, where a simple canvas covered in paint can sell for hundreds of millions. The difference is that a coin carries both art and history in one compact object. Let's consider how such coins are evaluated. When a rare coin surfaces, experts analyze every possible aspect. They measure weight with laboratory precision, compare design elements under microscopes, test metal composition using spectrometers, and even scan the surface with electron microscopes to detect anomalies invisible to the naked eye. Then comes authentication, confirming that it truly originated from the mint and wasn't altered after leaving it. Once verified, the coin is graded, encapsulated in a tamper-proof holder, and assigned a unique certification number. That certification transforms it from a curiosity into a documented artifact, capable of commanding serious money. The $31 million valuation might sound unbelievable, but in the world of collectibles, extreme prices happen more often than most realize. A single rare stamp has sold for $9 million. A misprinted baseball card fetched over $5 million. When collectors chase rarity, logic often takes a back seat. The 2008 Cent's fame, combined with its historical timing as the last full year of the Lincoln Memorial design, positioned it perfectly for mythic status. Meanwhile, ordinary people began re-examining their change. Pawn shops and coin dealers across America reported increased walk-ins with bags of pennies. Most were ordinary coins, but every so often, a genuine error appeared. Some off-center 2008 cents sold for a few $100s, while high-grade proof coins from the San Francisco Mint reached over $1,000. For a coin worth only a cent in face value, that's already an incredible profit margin. But still, the dream of finding the multi-million-dollar specimen keeps the fascination alive. It's also worth noting the cultural shift surrounding coins. In 2008, digital transactions were rising rapidly, yet coins retained their tactile charm. They clinked, shone, and carried faces of heroes. The 2008 penny, especially, became a bridge between old and new economies. It might be the last year when most Americans still carried physical change daily. Within a decade, many would abandon coins altogether. That makes every surviving uncirculated 2008 cent a small relic of a fading era of touchable money. The Lincoln Cent series transitioned in 2009 to honor Lincoln's 200th birthday with 4 new reverse designs, each depicting a stage of his life: his log cabin birth in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional life in Illinois, and his presidency in Washington, D.C. The 2008 cent, therefore, stands as the final chapter of the 1959 to 2008 memorial design era. That alone guarantees it a special place in the timeline of American coinage. But rarity alone does not explain its mythic $31 million tag. The deeper reason lies in the romance of the unknown. Collectors love mysteries. Was the legendary coin a mint experiment? A leftover copper blank? A double-die transitional error? Or perhaps a one-of-a-kind presentation piece never meant to leave the mint? The uncertainty enhances the allure. Like the Mona Lisa's smile or the Lost Dutchman's mind, part of its power lies in what we don't know. In interviews, several numismatic experts have admitted that while no publicly confirmed sale at $31 million has been verified, the story has real roots in the rarity and value of certain 2008-era coins. Even the possibility that such a transaction could occur speaks volumes about how much emotion, passion, and wealth are tied to this tiny piece of metal. Coin collecting is a paradoxical hobby, half science, half imagination. On one hand, it demands precision measurements and historical research. On the other, it thrives on myths, dreams, and the thrill of the hunt. The 2008 cent encapsulates both worlds perfectly. It's real enough to study and catalog, yet mysterious enough to inspire obsession. And so, the story spreads. Parents tell children to check their pennies. YouTube creators film unboxing videos of coin rolls. TikTok users post short clips showing rare finds under magnifiers. Each upload fuels the legend further. The internet has turned numismatics into a communal adventure. Someone in Kansas might find a slightly misstruck 2008 penny and post a video that inspires someone in London or Lahore to check their own change. The ripple effect crosses borders, cultures, and generations. Every time a new record price is rumored, the legend grows stronger. Whether or not the $31 million penny truly changed hands, the excitement it created is real. Collectors trade stories, compare notes, and debate possibilities late into the night. The coin has become more than currency. It's a symbol of hope, curiosity, and the eternal possibility that something ordinary might turn out to be extraordinary. The 2008 1-cent coin, though small and humble, tells a story much larger than its size suggests. When people hold a penny, they rarely pause to think about how many hands it has passed through, how many moments it has witnessed, or how it fits into the fabric of history. Every coin has a journey, and the 2008 penny's journey is especially intriguing because it sits at a crossroads, the end of an era for the Lincoln Memorial design, and the beginning of a new chapter in the 2009 bicentennial series. In that transition lies a hidden significance that collectors recognize instinctively. They know that final issues, the lasts, of any series often become valuable over time simply because they mark a historical boundary. But this coin story doesn't stop there. Beyond its design and composition, the 2008 1-cent coin reflects the broader economic landscape of its time. The year 2008 was marked by the global financial crisis. Markets collapsed, housing prices fell, and people lost faith in traditional wealth. Ironically, during that same year, the smallest unit of American currency, the 1-cent coin, became a symbol of resilience and hidden potential. While billion-dollar banks crumbled, the penny remained untouched, still circulating, still doing its job. It represented stability in a world falling apart. That context added emotional depth to its later fame. Collectors often say that coins are time machines, and the 2008 penny truly is. The image of Abraham Lincoln staring resolutely into the distance is more than just a portrait. It's a statement about endurance. During the Civil War, Lincoln faced the challenge of preserving a divided nation. In 2008, America again faced division, though economic rather than civil. Yet the coin bearing Lincoln's image continued to change hands, a silent testament to the endurance of both the man and the ideals he represented. If you look at the details of the coin, every feature carries meaning. The word, liberty, appears to Lincoln's left, a constant reminder of the freedom he championed. Above his head reads, "In God We Trust," a motto officially adopted by the U.S. government in the mid-20th century, but spiritually tied to Lincoln's time. On the right side is the date, 2008, followed by a small letter indicating where the coin was minted, a D for Denver, a P for Philadelphia, or no mark at all for certain special issues. That mint mark is tiny but vital. It determines where the coin's story began. The reverse, with its intricate depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, holds secrets of its own. Every column, every step, every line is carefully struck to scale. Even the minute statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial is visible under magnification, a tiny version of the massive marble figure in Washington, D.C. For decades, school children used magnifying glasses to marvel at this detail, not realizing they were holding one of the most remarkable engravings in modern numismatic history. By the late 2000s, though, the penny's value as currency had fallen below its cost of production. It cost the U.S. Mint more than 1 cent to make each penny, primarily due to the rising price of zinc and copper. Many economists called for its elimination, arguing that it no longer served a practical purpose. But nostalgia and cultural attachment kept it alive. Americans didn't want to lose Lincoln's coin. They saw it as a piece of their identity, something small but deeply familiar. That emotional bond would later help fuel the fascination with the rare 2008 specimens worth millions. Among numismatists, there's always debate over what truly defines value. Some say rarity alone determines it. Others argue that demand and historical context matter more. The 2008 penny proves that it's a combination of all three. It's not rare in sheer numbers. Billions were minted, but within those billions, certain variants emerged so unique that they transcended normal valuation. One such rumored variant, the copper transitional strike, continues to mystify experts. Its existence challenges our assumptions about mint precision. Could a leftover copper blank from the 1980s truly have survived inside a modern mint facility, to be struck accidentally in 2008? Technically, it seems improbable. Yet improbable doesn't mean impossible. The history of coinage is full of such anomalies that later turned out to be true. The science of numismatics helps separate fact from myth. When collectors first heard about the 2008 copper cent, they sought scientific proof. Advanced testing methods, like X-ray fluorescence, XRF, analysis allowed experts to measure the elemental composition of the coin without damaging it. These tests revealed subtle differences, traces of tin or other metals that hinted at older copper planchets. The weight readings also confirmed anomalies, coming in closer to 3.11 grams rather than the standard 2.5 grams. For experts, these were smoking guns, suggesting something extraordinary had indeed occurred during minting. At that point, professional graders got involved. The coin, reportedly submitted to PCGS or NGC, received a mint state 70 grade, perfect condition, no flaws visible under 5x magnification. That alone made it valuable. Combine that with its alleged transitional composition, and the value soared into the stratosphere. Stories circulated of private offers in the tens of millions, culminating in the now famous figure of $31 million. Some believe that sale was real but conducted privately between a major collector and an investor seeking to diversify holdings during a turbulent economic period. Whether or not the transaction truly happened, it became a cornerstone of modern coin folklore. As the legend spread, the 2008 cent gained almost mythical status. News outlets, blogs, and YouTube channels began covering it, each adding new details, speculations, and theories. Some claimed the coin had been discovered in a bag of old change, others that it was part of a private estate sale. Whatever the truth, the effect was undeniable. People all over the world began checking their coins again. Suddenly, the penny, a coin most people ignored, was exciting. It gave people hope that they, too, might stumble upon something valuable in their pocket change. In this way, the 2008 cent became a cultural phenomenon. It united people across backgrounds and generations. Kids and grandparents searched together. Hobbyists organized online forums to share pictures and discuss possibilities. Social media amplified the excitement, spreading stories faster than ever before. What had once been a niche collector's pursuit turned into a global treasure hunt. Yet beneath the excitement lies something deeper, a reflection on value itself. The 2008 cent story forces us to ask, what makes something valuable? Is it rarity, beauty, history, or the story we attach to it? For some, it's the tangible link to a specific moment in time. For others, it's the dream of finding fortune where no one else sees it. The penny's rise from pocket change to potential multi-million-dollar artifact mirrors human nature, our desire to believe that extraordinary possibilities hide in plain sight. It's interesting to note that every coin tells a silent story of technology. The dies used to create 2008 cents were produced using digital engraving tools far more advanced than anything from earlier decades. Yet, despite the technology, small imperfections still crept in, a misplaced line, a faint doubling of letters, or a slight difference in spacing. These microscopic inconsistencies became the breadcrumbs that collectors followed. In some cases, even the font or shape of the number 8 in 2008 appeared slightly thicker or thinner depending on the die pair used. Subtle details like these, invisible to casual observers, are what numismatists live for. When the rumor of a $31 million sale emerged, skeptics dismissed it as hype. But over time, pieces of evidence hinted that something extraordinary indeed existed. Auction records confirmed that similar transitional errors from other years, like the 1943 copper cent or the 1974 aluminum cent, had fetched incredible prices. Those sales proved that modern coins could indeed reach multi-million-dollar valuations if the circumstances were right. So while $31 million might sound exaggerated, it wasn't entirely impossible within the fevered world of high-end coin collecting. And then there's the human aspect, the emotional value attached to discovery. Finding a rare coin doesn't just bring financial reward. It brings a sense of awe, a realization that history can appear in the most unexpected places. People who discover such coins often describe the experience as life-changing, not merely because of the money but because of the connection it gives them to the past. The 2008 cent, for all its mystery, represents that connection perfectly. Over time, the story of the 2008 1-cent coin inspired documentaries, podcasts, and thousands of online discussions. Experts debated its authenticity, collectors argued over its grade, and the general public marveled at how a penny could rival the price of a mansion. For many, it was the perfect example of how value is created by scarcity and story rather than substance alone. The coin also became a metaphor. People began using it as an example in motivational speeches, reminding audiences that greatness can come from the smallest things. If a 1-cent coin can be worth $31 million, they'd say, imagine what hidden potential lies within you. In that sense, the coin transcended its metallic nature and became a symbol of unseen worth, an emblem of hidden potential. Even today, nearly 2 decades later, the legend continues to grow. Online marketplaces regularly feature listings claiming to offer rare 2008 cents for astronomical prices. Some are genuine errors. Others are simply wishful thinking. But the story's endurance shows that people want to believe in miracles. They want to believe that something ordinary can become extraordinary, that life still holds surprises. What makes the 2008 cent so fascinating is that it sits at the intersection of fact, fiction, and faith. It's a real coin, with verifiable varieties and authentic minting errors. It's also a story embellished by imagination and fueled by human hope. And perhaps that's what makes it priceless. Not the metal, not the market price, but the dream it represents. If you ever come across a 2008 penny, take a moment to look closely. Check the date, feel its weight, and notice the shine of the copper. It might just be an ordinary coin, or it might be something far more. The beauty lies in not knowing for sure, in the possibility that you could be holding a piece of history worth millions. That sense of mystery, that whisper of potential, is what keeps collectors searching and stories alive. And as the story of the 2008 1-cent coin continues, we start to realize that this tiny piece of metal is not just about its face value, it's about everything that it represents. From the evolution of American currency to the passion that drives collectors across the globe. The truth is, every coin has a story to tell, but few tell it as dramatically as the 2008 penny does. It's a story of perfection, imperfection, mystery, and an almost unbelievable transformation from a coin that was meant to be pocket change into an artifact worth millions. When you hold it in your hand, you're holding not just copper-plated zinc, but history, rarity, and luck combined into one. By 2008, the Lincoln cent had already been around for nearly a century. Since 1909, Abraham Lincoln's portrait had appeared on the obverse, and his image had become one of the most recognized in American coinage. In fact, the Lincoln cent was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Before Lincoln, American coins traditionally showed images of liberty or symbolic figures. The choice to honor Lincoln in 1909, on his 100th birthday, was a revolutionary step for American coin design. It was a decision that made history and set the stage for decades of small but meaningful changes to the 1-cent coin. Fast forward to 2008, and the coin had gone through multiple transformations. The wheat reverse design had given way to the familiar Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959, commemorating the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The material had changed as well. Originally made of 95% copper, by 1982 it was switched to a cheaper copper-plated zinc composition due to the rising cost of copper. This shift created a number of varieties and transitional errors that collectors still hunt for today. Those 1982 pennies, which come in both copper and zinc versions, serve as a reminder that even the smallest material change can make a huge difference in the world of numismatics. But what about 2008? Why did this year become such an obsession for collectors? The answer lies partly in the historical context and partly in the errors and anomalies that occurred during its production. 2008 was the final year before the U.S. Mint introduced a completely new reverse design series in 2009 to celebrate the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth. Because of that, the 2008 cent represents the last of an era, the final issue to feature the long-standing Lincoln Memorial reverse. That alone gives it historical importance. But when you add in certain rare minting errors, the story becomes legendary. Some 2008 1-cent coins were struck using old dies or mismatched designs. Certain coins show doubling on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's eyes. Others have die cracks, off-center strikes, or unusual color variations caused by improper metal mixing. In rare cases, planchet errors led to pennies being struck on foreign blanks or transitional metal compositions. These are the kinds of mistakes that make coin collectors' hearts race, because they can turn an everyday coin into something worth a fortune. One of these coins, a nearly perfect 2008 Lincoln cent with a rare die misalignment, was appraised and reportedly sold for an astounding $31 million in a private transaction. While such figures often become the stuff of legend, they reflect just how passionately the numismatic community values rarity, perfection, and provenance. It's important to understand that the value of a coin isn't just about age or condition, it's about uniqueness. The more unique a coin is, the more collectors will compete for it. That competition is what drives prices into the stratosphere. When news breaks that a certain penny fetched millions, it ignites a wave of excitement, and people everywhere start digging through their pockets and jars, hoping to find their own hidden treasure. The 2008 1-cent coin, with its perfect blend of modern history, collectible rarity, and the aura of mystery surrounding its high-value versions, has inspired exactly that kind of frenzy. And there's also the emotional side to this story. Lincoln himself symbolizes honesty, perseverance, and leadership, qualities that have come to represent the American spirit. That connection gives even more sentimental value to the coin. Every time you look at Lincoln's face on the obverse, you're reminded of the long journey from hardship to triumph. Perhaps that's why people find themselves so attached to pennies. They aren't just small metal discs. They are reflections of history, economy, and national pride. When you examine the 2008 penny closely, you notice the fine details that make it special. The sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, the way the light glints off the copper surface, the clarity of the inscriptions. "In God we trust, liberty," and the date, 2008. Flip it over, and you'll see the iconic Lincoln Memorial, with the tiny statue of Lincoln visible inside if you look carefully with a magnifying glass. That's the artistry of American coin design, precision and meaning intertwined. And then, beneath that artistry, lies the possibility of imperfection, a small minting error that could turn the coin into a treasure worth more than a mansion. Collectors always emphasize the importance of mint marks, and the 2008 penny is no exception. Minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each coin carries its own story. The P mint mark represents Philadelphia, though in 2008 pennies from Philadelphia were typically unmarked. The D stands for Denver and the S for San Francisco, which primarily struck proof coins for collectors. Each mint had slight variations in quality, and that affects the coin's overall value today. For instance, a 2008 S-proof coin in perfect condition might fetch hundreds, but a 2008 D with a rare error could be worth thousands, or, as in some rumored cases, millions. As the numismatic community delves deeper into the study of the 2008 1-cent coin, new discoveries continue to emerge. Microscopic analysis has revealed differences in die wear, metal flow, and strike strength that weren't noticed before. Specialized coin grading services like PCGS and NGC have graded thousands of 2008 cents, but only a handful have achieved the ultra-rare perfect MS-70 designation. Those coins, with absolutely no visible flaws even under 5x magnification, are considered the pinnacle of minting quality. When combined with unique die characteristics or provenance, their market value skyrockets. Beyond the technicalities, there's also the cultural phenomenon surrounding these coins. In online forums, videos, and social media groups, people share stories of finding 2008 pennies that look a little different, shinier, darker, lighter, slightly misaligned. Collectors post magnified photos, debating whether a tiny line or shadow could be the start of a rare doubling. This excitement creates an entire subculture of treasure hunters, turning what was once spare change into a global quest. And as this fascination grows, the legend of the 2008 1-cent coin deepens. Tales circulate of hidden stashes, forgotten mint experiments, and secret errors that escape detection. While not all of these stories are confirmed, they feed the mystique that keeps collectors hooked. After all, every collector dreams of being the one who discovers the next $1 million penny. The world of coin collecting is about more than just money. It's about curiosity, discovery, and the thrill of holding history in your hand. The 2008 1-cent coin embodies all of these things. From its simple copper sheen to its potential to change someone's life forever, it's a reminder that sometimes the smallest things can have the biggest stories. As we move deeper into this exploration, it's worth remembering that the value of the 2008 penny isn't static. The coin market is always evolving, influenced by trends, discoveries, and the global economy. Prices rise and fall, but certain coins, especially those surrounded by legend, tend to hold their allure. Collectors don't just buy coins, they buy stories, rarity, and emotional connection. And in that sense, the 2008 1-cent coin is priceless. As we move into the final chapter of this incredible story, the legend of the 2008 1-cent coin becomes more than just numbers, metal, and mint marks. It becomes a symbol of discovery, patience, and the idea that fortune sometimes hides in plain sight. Think about it. Millions of these coins were minted, tossed into wallets, dropped on sidewalks, saved in jars, forgotten in drawers, yet only a handful have surfaced as the rarest and most valuable examples ever created. Somewhere out there, another one could still be waiting to be found. Maybe it's already sitting in someone's pocket change, maybe in a forgotten coin roll, or maybe lying deep in a box from 2008 that hasn't been opened in years. And that's what makes this story timeless. Because even in 2025, people are still searching, still hoping, still checking every penny under the light to see if maybe, just maybe, theirs could be the next one worth a fortune. The spirit of the 2008 1-cent coin is about the thrill of the unknown. The possibility that ordinary people can uncover something extraordinary. It's not just a coin. It's a mystery wrapped in copper and history. The coin market has evolved drastically in the last 2 decades, and coins like the 2008 cent have reshaped how collectors view modern mint issues. Decades ago, it was mostly older coins, silver dollars, gold pieces, colonial currency that drew big money. But now, even modern sense can shock the world. The rise of online marketplaces, auctions, and coin grading technology has made it possible for rare coins to reach their true potential. And in this revolution, the 2008 penny stands at the center, showing that a coin doesn't have to be ancient to be valuable. It just has to be rare, unique, and loved. In the world of professional coin grading, the tiniest details matter. Collectors and experts use microscopes to inspect the coin's surface, searching for things like doubling, die cracks, off-center strikes, or even color variations. A single microscopic imperfection, if caused by the minting process, can make a coin one of a kind. One such discovery in 2008 revealed a penny with a double die obverse so subtle that only magnification could reveal it. The lines around Lincoln's eyes and the lettering appeared slightly shifted, giving it a ghostly 3D effect. That coin, graded in pristine condition, later became part of the same private sale that sparked headlines, the one that allegedly fetched over $31 million. Some say that story is exaggerated. Some say it's myth. But even myths have power because they inspire. Whether the sale was real or not, it ignited a movement. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know what made that coin so special. Numismatic blogs, YouTube channels, and collectors' forums exploded with discussions. People wanted to understand why one tiny penny could reach the value of an entire luxury mansion. And that's where the truth of this coin lies, in the combination of beauty, rarity, and human fascination. Economically, it makes sense too. Rarity drives value in any collectible market, but emotion amplifies it. When people connect emotionally to an object, they assign it more worth. The 2008 Lincoln cent isn't just metal, it's nostalgia. It's a piece of America's everyday life, something every citizen has held, seen, or spent. It reminds people of a time before everything went digital, before cashless payments dominated the world. It's physical proof of an era when pennies still mattered. That nostalgia adds another invisible layer of value, one that can't be measured in dollars alone. And yet, as collectors chase perfection, there's something poetic about the fact that a coin's imperfections make it priceless. An error in the minting process, a moment of mechanical misalignment, a speck of dust on the die, a small human oversight, creates something that the machines never intended. That little accident turns a common object into a masterpiece. It's a beautiful reminder that even in precision-driven systems, a touch of chaos can create wonders. If we trace the full journey of the Lincoln penny, we see how each change in design tells part of America's story. From the wheat ears of the early 20th century symbolizing agriculture and growth, to the Lincoln Memorial design symbolizing unity and history, and finally to the shield design introduced in 2010 representing defense and preservation, every change reflects the nation's evolving identity. The 2008 penny, standing right at the crossroads of those transformations, carries that full legacy within it. It's not just the last of the Lincoln Memorial series. It's the final heartbeat of a 50-year design era. For coin investors and enthusiasts, the 2008 1-cent coin represents a golden opportunity, but also a challenge. The challenge is knowledge, knowing how to identify what's truly rare and what's common. While billions of 2008 cents exist, only a few have the minting errors or pristine conditions that command astronomical prices. Serious collectors study die varieties, use precision scales to verify weight, and check for differences in coloration or metal flow lines. The standard weight of a 2008 penny should be around 2.5 grams due to its zinc composition, but any deviation could signal a wrong planchet error. A coin struck on a 3.1 gram copper planchet, for instance, would be a massive discovery because copper blanks stopped being used decades earlier. If one of those somehow slipped through the minting process in 2008, it would instantly become one of the rarest coins in the world. And then, there's the artistry, the sheer craftsmanship of the design. On one side, the dignified portrait of Abraham Lincoln, detailed enough that every strand of his hair, every curve of his coat, feels intentional. On the other side, the Lincoln Memorial with its stately pillars, representing both structure and strength. When you look at the coin long enough, you realize it's not just an object, it's a miniature sculpture. A work of art small enough to fit in your hand, yet powerful enough to capture a century's worth of history. As for its place in today's market, experts estimate that most circulated 2008 pennies are worth 1 cent, maybe slightly more if in good condition. But when it comes to rare versions, the story changes completely. Some sell for a few hundred, some for thousands, and a few for 6 figures at major auctions. Those extremely rare examples, proof-like strikes with verified mint errors, are the ones that can command multi-million-dollar valuations in private sales. As of today, the coin market remains fascinated by the legendary $31 million sale, and though its authenticity has been debated, the impact it left on collectors is undeniable. It turned a common penny into a global phenomenon. And maybe that's what this story is really about. Not the money, not the metal, but the magic of possibility. It's about how something everyone overlooked suddenly became something everyone wanted. How one small detail, invisible to most eyes, changed the course of a coin's destiny. It's about how the ordinary can become extraordinary when looked at closely enough. As the years go on, the 2008 1-cent coin will continue to hold a special place in numismatic history. More discoveries may come. More stories may surface. Maybe someone somewhere will uncover another coin just like it. A perfect strike, a flawless surface, a hidden error that changes everything. Until then, collectors will keep searching, studying, dreaming. Because that's what collecting is really about. The pursuit, the curiosity, the hope. So the next time you find a penny lying on the ground, don't just walk past it. Pick it up. Look at it. Feel its weight, its texture, its shine. Check the year. Who knows? It might be from 2008. It might be the next treasure hiding in plain sight. It might be the next story waiting to be told, the next chapter in this incredible saga of luck and history. Because somewhere out there, maybe in a dusty coin jar or a forgotten drawer, another one of those rare 2008 1-cent coins still exists, waiting for the right person to notice it. And maybe that person could be you. So keep your eyes open, your curiosity alive, and your imagination ready. Because the 2008 penny isn't just a coin, it's proof that miracles can still happen in the smallest, simplest forms. It's proof that even something worth 1 cent can hold the power of $31 million when combined with history, rarity, and a little bit of fate. And that's why the story of the 2008 1-cent coin will never end. It will continue to inspire, to spark curiosity, and to remind us all that value isn't always about what something is made of. It's about what it represents, what it means, and what stories it carries through time. A penny, a symbol, a legend. The 2008 1-cent coin, forever priceless.